Oh,
Cool.
hell yeah. Sebi says, what's happening, bro? Super fucking geeked. Super excited to have Combsy on the show for episode 7, my brother.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been so excited about this. I'm really looking forward to this one. And one of the reasons why is because I feel like you're such a mystery to me. Yeah, like I know that we went to the same high school. We don't know much about each other, I feel. And I may be wrong, but I know that we shared the same vicinity for a very long time. And having said that, Combsy, I know you're an artist. I didn't know that clothing design was one of your things, which I think is wicked too. I thought it was primarily DJing, DJ Combsy. But you, like our last guest, Brandon Ruffin, I see as a Renaissance man, bro. Thank you for coming to the
Appreciate
show.
that.
I
Of
really
course.
appreciate
Of
it,
course.
bro. One thing before we start, I just wanted to give my boy a shout out. Hold on. Fruit Juice Fly. Fruit Fly Juice Co. Yo, brought to you by Ivan Mum's most delicious fucking juices, bro.
Fire.
Oh my god.
I had
So
a party.
you haven't-
I had a party here. I had some nice people over, and he brought 5 jars of
Shut the
the
fuck
most
up.
fire
Yeah,
juice,
yeah.
and it was the first thing gone out of everything that people brought, and people loved it.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So we need to run that back.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a fucking plug. I
Yeah,
love that, dude.
yeah.
Like the freshest, most delicious, best
Fire.
ingredients, organic, 100%. Check out his episode. That was episode 4 or 5. Yeah, check it out. Thank you. Anyways, Combsy, bro, thank you for being on again from the bottom of my heart. But you know what I would love to do is just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I went to St. John the Baptist.
Okay.
How about you?
St. Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah. St. Joseph.
Will.
Yeah, Will.
Will went there too?
Will's dad was my basketball coach.
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
Big Willie. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for years. So yeah, went there kindergarten through 8th, and then went to from there.
Okay. Any early memories that kind of stuck with you from St. Joe's?
Early memories from St. Joe's? Not really. On the campus, just walking around, basketball practice.
You were a hooper.
At a young age, but
Did
yeah.
Big Willie walk around with those high heel-esque?
Oh, he did. Yeah. The ones that like make your calves all ripped. Yeah. He was always cool, always super kind. So we had 2 coaches. We had Big Willie, and then do you know Robbie's dad?
Yeah, Piva.
Yeah, Piva.
Oh my god, great soul. I love conversing with that man.
Yeah,
super
so,
real.
Yeah. So that was a funny dynamic between those 2.
Oh no, those 2 in one room?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So Salesian, that's where we went to school together. So that was the vicinity that we shared.
Yes. Yep. Memories from Salesian, I definitely gained a lot of work ethic, I think, from that school. Didn't necessarily, I don't know if I had really found myself yet or felt comfortable, but for some reason didn't feel like a lot of connection with our class. I don't know if it was something in me or what it was exactly. Yeah, felt some type of disconnect, I think, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Always felt like a little bit of a loner, like an outcast.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because I had that same vibe, thought it was cool as fuck. Like when
I wasn't going for cool.
I know you weren't.
Yeah.
I know you weren't, but it's just like I was saying, like that mysterious kind of energy that I had mentioned earlier. But it's interesting that you say it. And it's really cool to view in perspective from your lens. I thought it was tight almost that you took to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you gravitate more towards like different classes?
What do you mean?
The older, like seniors, sophomores?
Yeah, so I used to kick it with like Ivan, Kevin Lavender, Alec.
Kevin Lavender.
That crew. They were a grade above us. Definitely. They saw me, and I think Ivan approached me. He just, hey, we're gonna kick it after school. You should come. And that was the first time I really got like an invite that was like, yo, like we want you to like join our like group or something. And it felt good, and it felt like a place.
Was it a surprise? Did it come about just abruptly, or was it like a build up?
Me and Ive used to exchange like mix CDs and shit. We used to share music together.
Nice.
So he would just slide me a CD.
You got the keys to the vault.
I would obsess over that music and then spend the next week trying to find new music to share. And it was like a back and forth. And then
that's saying a lot because he doesn't take recommendations.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I still have like all of those mixes. Like those
Do you
CDs.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta get my hands on a
yeah.
copy.
There's some bangers, and it definitely gave me a good like foundation to like my music knowledge for sure. Finding new stuff, branching out.
That's cool, dude. Tell me a little bit more about, if you don't mind sharing, like that disconnect that you had. Because I also grew up in Salesian, kind of feeling like I didn't feel like I was part of one group. You know what I'm saying? I think I tried to not necessarily try, but just like it happened to where I could be cool with the athletes, I could be cool with the.
I saw that. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, what was it like for you?
I don't know what it was exactly. I just didn't feel like things didn't really perk my interest very. Things people would talk about, I just didn't. It didn't really interest me, and at the same time, it felt like some people just had shit figured out. Like they knew who they were, and they had their core group, and they felt so comfortable and outgoing, and it just made me feel like I didn't have those things. But what I learned later on is that through that, when I did connect with someone or shared common interests, it made it much more impactful for sure. Yeah. It made those conversations a lot bigger for me. And so like when I found like a group of friends that like I really clicked with, it made it that much better. Yeah.
That's tight. I think
Yeah.
that I have a personality where it's like open really quickly, but I
hmm
don't. But the tightness, that bond that would take like
hmm
more time.
Yeah.
I think at least growing up, like that's how it was. So it's
Yeah.
like it was easy to like initially start that friendship versus a relationship or a friendship that's hard to attain and open up, and then it'd be like, oh shit, okay, no, I fuck with this. That might have been something that I've experienced. So it's nice to know that that worked out for you, was when you did connect with somebody, like
Yeah.
it was a tighter connection versus
Yeah.
being like over the surface.
Definitely.
So what's up with the group? So it was Ivan, you had Kevin Lab.
Ivan, Kev, Alan, Lucas.
These are all cool cats.
Yeah,
Lucas,
that was my fam.
Yeah, that
Like
was
they were
fam?
cool,
Yeah.
bro. We used to kick every day. We used to go over to Lucas's house in Richmond and get a little pool table in back, and we used to just fucking.
I gotta hear an early memory. Do you have something in the bank?
We spent a lot of nights in there just playing, shooting pool for money, watching movies on this tiny ass little TV. It was always a battle for the aux cord. It was a battle.
That's hella funny.
It was like, who's gonna decide the vibes today? And that was like one of the earlier memories of not necessarily being like a DJ, but it definitely put me in that realm of, okay, who's here? What are the vibes? What am I feeling? This is the music, like specific music that I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and just sharing with each other. Yeah.
There's like a sense of controlling the room a bit, huh?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know who I was talking to the other day, but I think I was just talking to Mike actually this morning, talking about the concept of DJing and how fucking sick it is, because you're not just playing music for one person.
It's like it's a weird art form where you're trying to like read people's minds of not necessarily this is what you want to hear, but this is what I think you should hear.
What a shift.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll be DJing an event and someone will come up and make a request and I'm like, that's a terrible song for right now. I like that song, but that's a terrible song for right now.
Yeah.
But how about this one instead? And they're like, damn, that's a good one. And it works out better.
Yeah.
It's a strange feeling when you got like your finger on the button and you figured out a crowd and you know exactly like, all right, this is their shit. And I'm playing a song, people are going crazy, and I got this next song lined up, and I'm like, yo, when I bring this in, they're gonna lose it. And it's such a good feeling. Yeah. That's when I'm not thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
The hardest part is waiting. The hardest part of DJing is letting the music play. Yeah, there was
because you're like, this is about to bang the roof off of this motherfucker.
And then I just sit back and I wait.
Oh my God.
And just wait. I had a problem with that where when I get too excited, I want to just mix fast, boom, boom. And I'm sure you've been at an event before where you're like, why is this DJ playing like 30 seconds of a song and then switching over to something? You're like, fuck, let it play. And so I was doing an event where I was doing that. And one of my DJ homies, Jay, he came up to me. He was like, hey man, you're doing good. But he was like, can I ask you something? I was like, yeah. He was like, hey, do you love the music that you're playing? And I was like, yeah, I love them. I love it. He was like, let it play. He's like, if you love it, let it play. And that was like some of the best advice I've got. So just sometimes you got to just sit back and let the shit happen. Just wait. Yeah.
That almost seems like a fucking life lesson right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's tight to hear that that was one of your first moments of being a DJ.
Yeah.
Was there earlier moments? Or you were younger?
So, yes. Oh, not necessarily DJ. So, I know we were talking a little bit earlier, but so I manage an audiovisual rental company. We do lights, cameras, speakers, and stuff like that. So, my introduction was actually at Salesian. I got involved with their plays.
No, you.
I was doing the lighting for their plays. And that was random because someone in the theater department had approached me and they were like, hey, we need you to do the lighting. And I'm like, I had never done lighting. I had not done lighting before. I wasn't involved with them. I don't know why they approached me, but like for them to say, we need you to do this, it was the first time someone had vocalized they need me.
The necessity.
Yeah. And I'm just like, shit, I guess I'm doing this now.
Who was it that approached?
It was my Father Jesse.
Father Jesse?
Yeah.
Shout out Father Jesse.
He was cool as fuck, honestly.
I think I've heard, I don't know if this is I want to say I even maybe have mentioned Father Jesse. Like he was pretty a cool cat.
He was cool. He definitely was like intense sometimes. Like he when he was like stressed and shit, he would yell at people like straight up. But I fuck with that energy, like just be honest, not fuck around.
Yeah.
So yeah, for him to be, and if you hear the birds, fucking. They're having fun.
He's bird sitting.
Bird sitting right now.
Who can say that? Not many people can say that. I'm bird sitting. What are the names again?
Pierre and Baby.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're chilling.
Baby after YMCMB?
No, just Baby.
Okay.
Just Baby, just Baby.
I like it.
So yeah, so for someone just to feel needed in a group pushed me towards just helping out.
Did you later find out why? Like he just came up to you?
No, yeah.
But this almost like obviously.
Yeah.
Like you're
and I didn't know.
it.
Exactly. So it's like the story like all comes together, but it's while it's happening, you have no idea that you're just like, oh, I'm just doing random shit.
That's it.
It's interesting. So
what was the first thing you did with them?
I think it was like Hello Dolly or something.
Okay.
Like some random ass play.
Yeah.
And so to see the late nights setting up the lights and doing the run throughs, hanging out with cast, and then the stress of the show where we just need to keep going and people like running around saying, no, turn this up, turn that down. We're behind, we're ahead. Like we got to do this, that, and the other. I like that. Like I like hustle that stress. I don't know.
Yeah. There's something about it, right? That kind of just like, shit needs to get done.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. And so that was like my introduction into like lighting and AV kind of, and I had no idea where that would lead. After Salesian so that little friend group that I was hanging out with, a few of them were already going to San Jose State.
Okay. Oh yeah, because they were a year older.
They were a year older, and I was already like my senior year. I was driving down to San Jose to kick it, just to hang out with them. And so when it was time to graduate, it was like
that was a no-brainer almost in terms of
it was like I'm going to San Jose. Yeah, exactly. So I went to San Jose State, moved in with them, and then I had no idea what I was.
Did you see them as big bros?
Like
big
absolutely.
Brothers?
They would put me on game. They'd be like, "Hey, this is how you like this. This is what you should do, or not really what you should do, but this is how I do it.
It worked out for me.
Exactly. This is what I do, and I'm just like, okay. And then I pick and choose the little things that I thought were relevant.
Okay. Ooh, you got a package.
Sick. Hell yeah.
Fucking Christmas. Love that shit.
But so went to San Jose State, had no idea what I was doing. I was taking like engineering courses. I thought I was going to be an engineer.
Oh, yeah?
I fucking hated math. I was like, I had no idea. I was trying to figure shit out. And that's what I think. I'm not a huge advocate for college. I think that the piece of paper, the value in that is not super important unless you're going to be a doctor, a fucking lawyer, or something like that. But to interact with other people your same age that are trying to figure out life, I thought it was huge, and I needed some more credits. I needed to take another class. So I got involved with the RTVF, which is radio, television, film.
So you kind of just, hey, I need these credits.
Yeah.
This is something that interests
radio,
me.
television, film. I love watching movies.
Sure.
I like listening to music.
Sure.
Fucking, it was an easy choice.
Yeah.
So got into RTVF, and then with that, I got a radio show so they have their radio station, and I learned like formats and how to run a show. I got to play music for people. It was tight because like homies would call in. They're like, "Hey, we're dropping to San Francisco," and I can be like, "Hey, shout out the homies." And like,
so you were hosted and all of that.
I was 4 hours a week by myself in a room, just talking, playing music. I can do whatever I want, essentially.
That's sick.
It was dope. My first show was actually once a week, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's the one that you were.
My first one, my first show. That was my first time slot.
Oh, no way.
So I would.
Wait, did it have a name like the Combsy Show or some shit like that?
Damn.
Combsy's Corner.
Nah, it did. Shit. Why am I forgetting?
Casa La Combsy.
Nah, it was like the after party. I gotta think about that.
Okay, so you first had a slot that was.
It was late night, but like, and it was.
This was your first slot.
That was my first slot, and then it eventually got better. It went to 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay.
That's a good
slot. Okay, but let's hear
slot.
about this time slot. So it was like, fuck, like, what was that like?
It was dope, dude. It was like, it was almost like a meditation, man. I was just by myself. People were listening. People would call in. People would make requests.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm still not grasping the conceptualization of the time. It's in the morning, like crack of.
So yeah, I would try to go to sleep like at 10 or 11, get a couple hours, wake up at 1, splash some water on my face,
people were
show up at the radio.
Yeah.
The last DJ is what's up.
So you guys just swap spots.
Just swap spot, yep. And then I'd hop on, and there's a format you have to follow. Like at the 10, you got to do the promo, and at the 20, you got to you have to read this thing, and at the 40, you got to say this.
Is that minutes?
Yeah. So at 2:10, you have to say the name of the station. At 2:20, you have to read one of these promos for another show. At 2:40, 2:40 is usually like the area where you can do a longer stop set. What's
a stop set?
Stop set is just where like you stop music and you talk.
Okay.
So you can do a longer stop set, and you can talk about, hey, the Grammys were this weekend.
You literally could talk about anything you wanted?
Yeah. As long as you're not cussing and stuff, like you could just,
What a platform.
Yeah. And so really that's where I got comfortable with my own voice.
Sick.
That's because most people like hate their voice.
Anybody else, typically, right? They hear those, they're like, don't play that shit.
Yeah.
Why do I sound like that?
Yeah. So when I'm in that room, I got my headphones on, I hear my voice, I'm just talking, and that's where I get comfortable, like, hearing my own voice and also just forming my thoughts. And yeah, it was a good learning opportunity for sure. The biggest thing with that radio station, bro, the concert tickets, man.
What?
We got so many free concert tickets. I used to go to shows every weekend. We used to go to Rock the Bells. We used to go to like paid dues. And
damn, these are some dope concerts,
bro.
This was the perk of doing that.
Free, bro. So many free shows, and we used to do like interviews. Like we interviewed Killer Mike.
Okay.
We interviewed Kendrick back in the day, bro.
Shut the fuck
He
up.
slid through.
How was that? Do you remember that?
It was sick, bro.
Yeah,
my homie Armand, he called me and he's, bro, what are you doing right now? I was like, nothing. He was like, bro, come to the station right now. And I'm like, for sure, I'm on my way.
He didn't tell you why. He was just like, yo,
he was like, come to the station right now. Yeah. I was like, all right, for sure. Pulled up there. He was like, hey, Kendrick's pulling up in 20. And because he was in town, he was performing at the SAP Center. He was opening for Drake. This is how long ago it was. He was opening for Drake. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's crazy. So he came through. I was helping him film the interview and stuff.
What was he like? Was he chill? Was he nervous?
Super chill.
Yeah.
Super short.
Is he really?
Bro, I was like,
wait, like me short?
He's probably,
don't say taller.
Nah, he's shorter than you, bro.
No
he's
way.
short. He probably, I don't know, but yeah, he's short.
I'm
But
like
cool.
5'11", so.
He's cool. He's cool. So yeah, it was a dope experience, and the radio station just kind of opened my eyes. Like, oh, okay, like you can do dope shit and make money at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, hello.
So, where was I going? So yeah, the radio station, it opened my eyes to just making connections with people, doing cool shit. And that's when I was like, okay, this is like the area this is what I want to do.
This is my realm.
I don't know. Like I was getting closer to finding what my thing was. I had no idea. And then
were you nervous about that? Was there like a point in like your life where like you were like, what's my purpose? What am I going to land in ultimately?
I never really had that stress.
I love that.
Yeah, I think like growing up, I was raised by my mom, single mother. And she was always just, the vibe I always got was just like, try new things, do whatever you want. I would be like, oh, like I want to try, I used to do slot car racing. You know what that is?
What the fuck is that?
It's like you go to this place, it has like a track and it's like you build a car, put it on and you have a little remote control
Oh, yeah.
and it goes around.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to try that. And she'd be like, okay, like I'll take you today and we'll go do it. And I'd be like, okay, cool. And then she'd be like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow and go and do it again. And then we'll come back tomorrow and do it again. And
How old were you?
I was probably like 12, 13 years old. And I'd show up and I would meet new people and we would chop it up and we'd like work on stuff and we'd go get some lunch and come back and then my mom would pick me up. And then, so anytime I had like an interest, my mom was just down. She was like, you're okay, cool, you're gonna do it. And then once I started, she wouldn't let me stop.
Yeah?
I'd be like, I don't want you. She'd be like, no, you're going back. And so she just always kept me like trying new things and not quitting. That was her shit. So I never felt like that pressure of, oh, I have to figure out what it is that like, who am I or what is my purpose? It wasn't really like that. It was more just like finding things that interest me and then just like doing them. So
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing that
yeah.
like she was able to enforce that and say, hey, like something's dope as shit to you.
yeah,
Keep trying it out.
yeah,
Soak up as much as you can, milk it.
exactly. So did the radio thing, found that realm.
So you said, hey, this is my shit. This is the
Right.
world I want to be in. It's attractive to me.
So I started looking on Craigslist. I bought like a couple little cheap. I bought some cheap speakers, bought a cheap little DJ mixer, fucking around in the bedroom, just fucking around with it. And then one of the homies like, oh, we're having a party. Want to play some music? I'm just like, first gig? Hell yeah, it's in the garage. I got these shitty ass like computer speakers. Like that was the first
Hey,
gig. Like
no
that was the first.
way.
I had like an iPod over here and then the little thing over here. Like I was just fucking around.
Yeah.
But it was fun, man.
Yeah. Where
It
was
fun.
this? How old were you at this point?
So this was in San Jose. So this is further down the road. This is when I'm at the radio station. I'm meeting people.
How old are you at the radio station? Like 23?
Yeah, 22, 23.
Okay.
And so anytime someone was having a party, I'm trying to DJ. I'm trying to at least just play some music. And I loved it. I love playing music for people.
What was that feeling you got that first party? Did you take a moment to sit back and be like,
It wasn't lit. It was a kickback. People were just chilling. So it was cool, but it was still fun. And I was like, okay, I want to keep doing this. So I'm doing some more parties and I'm like, damn, I need to make some money so I can buy some gear because gear is fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for work and find a posting that's come work for us. You don't know experience needed. We'll teach you everything on how to DJ weddings.
excuse me?
Yeah, it was like a Craigslist post. It was
What?
random. So I'm like, that sounds interesting. Going for the interview. It was like 5 other people there. They were all weird as shit. They were all hell weird.
How so? Tell me.
Like the post specifically said you have to have a car. Like you need to be mobile.
Okay.
One dude showed up like hella sweaty on a bike. Like hella sweaty. Wearing like shorts and like sneakers. Yeah. One girl kept like fidgeting all weird. It was just like people were just weird.
I knew it.
And it was like me and one other dude and we were like, all right, we're normal.
And there was like one other guy that
Yeah,
potentially.
yeah. And then so they hired both of us. Like
No, they did
they
it.
hired
Oh,
both of us.
sick. Okay.
So I started working there, and so we were doing like these late night sessions where they were like, all right, just read this. Here's all the announcements, and I'd be like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Duh. And we just do it over and over until we were like, we like hated it. We didn't want to do it anymore. Like we did it so many times, and then after 3 or 4 months of just doing that over and over, they were like, all right, you two are gonna go do a gig. You guys are gonna go do a wedding.
Nice. So there was like a process. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like, hey, go get it. It was like,
Yeah.
let's embed this into your
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna now give you the opportunity to actually do it.
Exactly. So that first gig, I DJ'd it, and then that dude that they hired as well MC'd it. So he made all the announcements.
Okay.
And stuff.
Do you think that they were trying to do that, like assess which one was gonna do what during that time period?
No, I think it was just easier to split the 2 jobs because eventually we were going to do both. I was going to DJ and MC,
Got
but
it.
at first just worry about the music and
Yeah.
you just worry about the announcements.
What a cool little system.
Yeah. So we did that a couple of times, and then eventually it was like, all right, now you do the music and you MC, and then we swap, like you MC, you DJ. We do that a bunch of times until we're like comfortable, and then it's like, all right, now you do this alone. You do it by yourself. It was a really good process, and so once I was like, I was solidified, I figured out how to do it, I was doing all right. It was essentially like every weekend. Sometimes as many as like 2 or 3 events every weekend. Like Friday, sometimes it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I was doing that I'm still doing it. It's been 15 years now. Yeah.
So what were you doing during the week?
Okay, so I was going to San Jose State working for them, and
The radio.
I was doing the radio and then working for this company that trained me, and
everything you were doing was like
in the same realm.
Yeah. And just making your craft that much better. Radio and on during the week, DJing weddings on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then you were saying you were DJing some of your homies' parties and get-togethers.
Yeah, just staying busy. And then eventually I was just like not trying to go to school. I was just like, I liked school because I found this thing, but it's not like sitting in class is just not my shit. I dropped out and then started working for that company full time. So I'd be in the office throughout the week. We were also doing audio visual rentals. So people would come in, I would show them their speakers. This is how you plug it in. This is how you use it. Emailing people, office work. And then, just office work, weddings on the weekend. And then after working for them for like...
When you left school, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
when you left school, then you said you work with them full time. All right, so the radio, you were no longer doing the radio show.
No more. Correct, yeah.
So it was full time at this place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after working there for 6 or 7 years, they offered me partnership.
Yeah.
Because it was a small company, and they realized they lost a couple of key employees, and they were like, all right, we need these people to stick around. They had to give me some kind of incentive.
Sure.
So they were like, all right, we will offer you a percentage of the company.
What?
So you'll take home profits.
How old were you then?
At that point, I was probably like 26, 27.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Did you know that was coming? Did you know that was like in the pipeline before it actually happened, before they came up to you and said, hey?
I had an inkling. I had an idea that it was possible. I didn't assume anything.
Were you excited about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it felt a purpose, a place, something a little bigger than me. So...
Did you answer them right away?
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
I think I just said, I was like, yeah. I didn't have my eyes on anything else. You know, I wasn't trying to do anything else. And so, yeah, I was excited and down. And I knew that it was going to be a lot of work, but I was up for it.
What did they ask from you?
What do you mean?
So they asked you, hey, we want you to be a partner with the company. Did they then say, hey, these are your expectations now that you are obviously an important piece of the puzzle?
If the shit hits the fan, you take care of it. If the shit hits the ceiling, they'll take care of it.
Oh, word.
They're like, just keep shit afloat. Just figure it out. Shit, just figure it out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I did, and looked at our system, got new like databases, figured out our like how we're doing things, how we can make things better, what equipment we need to buy, trying new things. Yeah. I would just get ideas, and then it's really cool working for a small company because I could literally just get an idea and then go in the next day and just implement it and just do it.
Is there an idea that comes to mind that was something that you did implement like that? That you were like, oh, fuck, this would be clean for the company?
One thing that I implemented was, so like we have a website, and I'm just like, yo, put gear on the website that like we don't even have. I'd be like, offer equipment that we don't have just to see what kind of traction it gets. So we would put like cameras and projectors and see what people hit us. Yo, these people hit us up like pretty regularly for this equipment. We don't own it. Let's buy it.
Yeah.
And then, so we would buy it, and then we would reach out to all those clients like, hey, we have it. It's available now. Let us know. And then that's how we started buying new equipment, figuring out what people needed. And
that was almost your way to assess and survey.
Exactly.
Like, hey, we bring this on board.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just figuring it out. But yeah. So looking back, so while it was all happening, doing the lighting at plays and doing the radio and doing these house parties, it didn't feel like it was all connecting. But like now looking back, I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There was
it
a
all
day
seemed like a separate
Yeah, I felt like I was just wandering around, like looking at shit and like playing with shit. And looking back now, I'm like, there was a day where I was thinking about, I'm like, I did do lighting in high school. That's crazy. So yeah, so my path, like I didn't know I was on the path, but looking back now, it worked out.
That's hella funny.
Yeah.
There was a moment like that for me when I work for an energy company now, and in my previous employer, I did roles such as managing a team, and then it was safety. I was a safety specialist, and then after that, I was also a marketing rep, so like selling a service, and then after that, I managed a team on a higher level for finance. And so it was funny to finally see myself in this role or interviewing for this role at this energy company and me looking back at everything I did, and I'm like, if you mesh all this shit together, it's like perfect fit for what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trip how your pathway forms, and it's a blessing. Yeah, we're lucky.
So you're with that company now?
Yeah, so I've been a partner there for 8 years now. We got a good team, and so yeah, every day is something different. Just my thing is just trying to help my employees do their jobs better. Yeah, kind of assisting them.
Are you part of the hiring process?
Yeah.
You are? Yeah. Okay. So you have, of course, you have the full capacity of pulling in who you want, bidding farewell to maybe somebody who's not working out.
Yeah.
Have you had to deal with that?
Absolutely, yeah. Letting people go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to do it. Surprisingly, people see it coming.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'll start the conversation, and it's almost like they already know. They're like, oh, okay. See you later. Thank you. I'm just like, wow, that was easy.
Yeah.
It's easier than you think. It's weird.
Right.
Yeah, they know.
It's a less stressful conversation.
Yeah. I do. What's that show on HBO, the football one? Hard Knocks, where they follow like a team around.
No, did they? Oh shit! It's like
Hard Knocks.
Is that like
Is
a
that called
reality
Hard Knocks?
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They like follow a team around. But watching them like cut players, they just invite them in, sit them down. They're just like, all right, hey, we're letting you go today. And they're just like, all right, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And they're like, all right, talk to us on the way out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, they're just like, they're so good at it. It's like, all right, you got to just say the thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ain't no bullshit, no beating around the bush.
Yeah. So try to do the same. Yeah.
And so your team right now, rocking solid.
Yeah, we got a good team, like the guys. It's a weird balance between being overstaffed and understaffed, being busy enough and not too busy to where people are like hating life. So yeah, trying to stay right on that cusp of having enough work to keep people busy and not overworking people. It's a balance. Yeah,
that sounds like a really difficult balance.
Absolutely,
dude. That's amazing to hear that. Like you're happy with basically what pays the bills, right? With what helps pay the bills, I'm sure. But again, like we were talking about how everything that you do is damn near almost intertwined.
Yeah.
And not only do you work with audio and visuals, but you also, let's talk about somebody like the shit that you love outside of that, the shit that your artistry, your artwork, what's something else that you're super passionate about that you can share with us?
A lot of things interest me. I do photography. I was doing it a lot more in the past. It's not as exciting for me now.
You have some dope ass shots.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's almost, so I don't know. I'm a collector, right? I like collecting things. And I think early on, one of my biggest things was collect memories. And photography is my way of capturing a moment, capturing a feeling. I take a picture and I'm like, I remember what I ate that day and who I was with and what shoes I was wearing.
There's something so nice about that, right?
Yeah, it's just connection to the past kind of thing. So photography, during the pandemic, I picked up a sewing machine, sewing and embroidery machine, just because, I don't know, it just seemed interesting. It seemed fun.
Is that new? Something new? Or were you always into that? So during COVID, that's when you picked up, you said, hey.
I was like at the house, I had all this time, I was bored, I want to pick up a new hobby. I liked clothes. And actually, so before that, I was going to a tailor and I would bring like a pair of pants and be like, yo, I want you to do this to it. Change this, cut that, and be like, all right. And so I would go there every couple of days. Like I would bring a new piece.
What ignited that? Did you like watch, like maybe like you see some, like I'm sure there are some brands that you favor.
Yeah, I think I like bought a pair of pants and like they didn't fit right. My mom was like, just take them to a tailor. And I was like, oh, okay. And there was one right down the street. So I walked over there and I was like, and it was cheap as hell and it was easy and it was cool. And so I was like, made that connection. And then I bought like a shirt and I was like, I wonder if they can do this.
What was that adjustment?
I know I brought them some Girbaud jeans and they were like, their
They're
Girbauds are
fucking
super
huge,
huge. So I
yeah.
was like, can you taper them and make them like that? She was like, okay, yeah. And she did them and they were clean as hell.
Clean as fuck, I
Yeah,
bet, bro.
yeah.
Because I love those
I
designs, but
love
they're just
Girbauds,
fucking
dude.
huge
Yeah, they're
at the
huge.
bottom.
Yeah.
And I love me some nice fitting pants.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, I had her make a bag for me. I bought this like Takashi Murakami like big ass duffel bag, which I never used. So I bought like a cheap.
Why didn't you use it?
Because it was just too big. Like it was big. I didn't need it for things.
Yeah.
So I bought like a cheap like shoulder bag, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, make this, but with this. And she's
So what do you mean with?
like, use this material. Like you could take this apart, use the zippers, use the straps. Like you can take it apart to use as a template. And she's like, okay. So she took that bag apart, deconstructed it, cut up the Murakami bag, and then traced it on there, cut it up.
What the?
And then I had this really sick bag that like nobody else had.
That's clean as fuck.
And I love that feeling.
I love how you were like a creative director behind.
Yeah.
Being like
I needed a shoulder bag to keep my camera in. I didn't have. I love this fabric, so like, can you just do this?
Yeah.
And so I was doing that.
You have that bag?
Yeah.
You have it?
I have it.
Alright,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
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 So real quick before you keep going, I love this concept, but it's you. Did this woman know that she was gonna? Has she ever been like, "Hey, I'm gonna get into design and do dope ass shit"?
I think she thought I was crazy.
She thought you were nuts.
Yeah, I think
Was she
so.
an older woman?
She was this old Asian lady, and
She didn't even think twice. She wasn't like, "Yo, I'm doing like some creative shit."
Yeah, she was. She normally did. She was doing. I would walk in and she was like fixing someone's wedding dress.
Yeah.
And shit. I'd like.
This is so funny.
And I'm like coming in with these weird jeans, like
She would just sauce it up.
Yeah. So I was doing that for a while, and it interests me, and so I was like, I got all this time, so I bought a sewing machine.
You saw it was possible. Shorty was doing it. And
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
I could rock this shit, and I ain't gotta tell nobody how to do it. I could do it.
Yeah, I can just do it. I
my
can just
imagination.
get an idea, and I don't have to wait for anything. I can just do it now.
Yeah.
And yeah, bought it, and at first it was definitely a learning curve. Like a lot of fuck ups, a lot of just moments where I was like stressed and had to just like walk away from it. And then yeah, at night I just want to come back to it, and I would just get an idea like, oh, I like this shirt, and I have this patch, like I want to sew this on. So I just start putting shit together. It's almost like DJing. It's almost like mashing up songs, like taking two pieces and combining them like in a physical space.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first I was on your Instagram, and I was like, like I said, like I know you have your hands in a lot of different mediums of art. And before I have my guests on, I go to their Instagram, I get a peek at their world.
Yeah.
And I had seen the shirt that you had, and it said Technician Combsy, and I was like, Technician Combsy. I was like, I know he don't work at no car shop or nothing like that. And then that's when it clicked. I was like, my boy like makes his own clothing.
Yeah, yeah. That was actually based off of Virgil Abloh. He had a jacket that was the same thing. It was a Dickies jacket, it said Technician, and it said Virgil on it. And it was just fire. I loved it. So I just took a screenshot, went and found the font, downloaded it, put it in the embroidery program, bought the jacket, and then just fucking put it on. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's like I see something that I want, and I don't want to like shout out the money, and it's literally just fabric and thread. So it's like I can just make it.
What you're telling me is fairly cheap, right?
Yeah, yeah. $40 Dickies jacket, and then some thread and some time.
I saw some of the pieces. You showed me some of the gear that you got.
Yeah.
That shit is clean.
It's fun, man. It's it's weird. It's just having an idea and then seeing it come to fruition is the good thing. Yeah.
God, it's like one of the most beautiful things.
Yeah.
Even with, I think, like we talk about like the power of the mind and manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to see it like happen right before your eyes, you like physically have the fabric, right?
Yeah.
There's a fabric of the universe and the reality around us to try to alter in the best way that we can. But you have it right there, your hands. You can touch it, sew it. That's tight.
Yeah. It's calming, like just sitting there. It's one of those things where it's like when you stop paying attention, you fuck up. So your full concentration needs to be on whatever you're working on. And so like all that other shit that you usually think about just goes away. You know?
That's cool.
There will be like, I'll be working on a piece and I'll be so like inspired and like in it that I'm like, I snap out and I'm like, oh shit, it's been like 2 hours. I haven't drinking water. Well, I need to like eat something and just drink something and fucking, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, getting into learning how to get into your flow state is that's a key right there. Like, how do you get into your flow state and how do you stay in your flow state? It's like those moments where you forget the clock, you forget your work, you forget rent, you're not thinking about all that other shit while you're doing it. It breaks time a little bit. Yeah.
Were you familiar with this concept of flow state when you were younger? Or is it something that you learned about later on in life?
Definitely something I learned later on. And then you look back and you're like, oh, like that's
what they're talking about.
Yeah, like remembering back, oh, when I used to do that thing, yeah, that was flow state. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you felt that shit?
Ooh, probably, I don't know, like Legos or something. Like when you get a big ass Lego set, right, and like you dump everything out and you sit on the ground till your fucking knees hurt and you don't realize that your knees hurt.
Like aching.
Yeah, and it was like the sun was up when you started and now it's dark now and you're like, whoa, what just happened? Yeah, that's the earliest I can remember.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's your best way to get into your flow state? What works for you?
Depends on what the medium is, but
Jennifer Lopez.
I try to, what is it? Like low, so I start out with low pressure art.
I've never heard of that.
So low pressure art is like art with zero consequences. So let's say you are a painter and you want to get into flow state, just start scribbling on a canvas. I'm gonna make something right now that I'm never going to use or show anyone. So you're just like literally just like splashing paint around. And as you're doing that, your brain is like getting in that mode, and then you switch over to the other canvas and it's just like seamless, like it's easy, you're ready. So what I do is, let's say I want to sew a project and I find it, and sometimes it's hard to get in, I'm uninspired, I don't really feel like doing it. I will set up my sewing machine and then lay out my fabrics and put all my tools out and just set myself up. So like at night when I'm like, I walk by and I see the stuff and I'm just like, let me see this. And I just flick it on and then I just start. Make it as easy as possible to get in. Because for me, I want to sew right now. Cool. Let me set up the thing and then move this and then I have to go find that thing. And then by the time I'm set up, I'm like, I don't even feel like doing it anymore. So making it as easy as possible to get into your flow state. Yeah. Prepping your stuff.
That's what I love that you said that. That's such a great reminder. Have you ever read the book Atomic Habits? Atomic Habits talks about making it easy for you to get into it. So let's say like you want to make working out a habit. What you want to do is you want to set already your shorts aside, your sock, tennis shoes right at the door. So then that way the habit is already there, right? You're already forming the habit of putting it there, but then now to complete that task of going to the gym makes it that much easier to do because everything's already laid out for you. So making it easy to jump into the routine.
Because to do something that like you don't necessarily want to do, like your mind will find excuses for everything. I said I was going to go to the gym today, but like I forgot my shorts and I don't want to go home to get my shorts and then go back. So tomorrow I'll do.
It's in the laundry.
Yeah, like it's fine. Yeah. So yeah, your mind will make up a million reasons why you shouldn't do that thing. So knowing how you work and like eliminating all those excuses, it's like you feel like you have to. Yeah. I'm already here. I did all the things to get here, so I might as well.
Are you like reading books? You like listening to audiobooks?
I do. So I listen to podcasts. I read books, but like when I read, I'm like ADD a little bit.
Sure.
So
I see myself reading the same paragraph like 5 times.
Yes.
That's something I fall into.
So what I end up doing is like I pick up books and I rarely, so when I start a book, I rarely start at the beginning.
No way.
I'll start.
I've heard this before.
I'll start a couple chapters in.
No way.
And then once I'm like, oh, like, I'm into it, then I go back and I read. It's weird.
That's cool. And
Or I'll read like a chapter of this book and be like, and then pick up a different one. I was like constantly switching. It's like changing the channel. Yeah. So yeah, I read chaotically. Yeah.
I'm reading 3 different books right now.
Yeah. And then if you read something and you're like, you didn't like really retain it, or you forget what you just read, like I just keep going.
Yeah.
I'm like, I did it. I read it. Even though I don't remember, like it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you took it in, whether you know it or not. Yeah.
In the sense, you can't be too hard on yourself about it, right?
Yeah. So I just keep reading. Yeah.
Or at least you start on chapter 2. I know people who start at the beginning sometimes. Excuse me, at the end.
Oh wow.
They'll start at the
That's
end.
weird.
They'll get like the whole concept of how the book ends.
Yeah.
All right, I'll read it. Or they'll just do that and then like put the book down.
Damn. Yeah. I'll flip it up and sometimes like, all right, where did I land? This must be for a reason. Yeah.
Child development, mental health, self-development, excuse me. Have you been listening to anything that like any motivational shit or anything that's inspired you lately? Movie or? Yeah,
there's this dude, Sahil. Shit, it's called.
Boy, Sahil sounds awesome.
It's really good. And I like that it's super short. His episodes are like 5 or 6 minutes. Hold on, I gotta tell you. Let me see.
Might think they have to spit out some of that format.
This one right here. Curiosity Chronicle.
Okay.
This is my shit right here. I listen to this every day on my way to work.
Oh, I love that. And that's like a nice little like.
Yeah. It just gets me like thinking in the right direction. Yeah. I study Stoicism.
Yes.
Yeah, Stoicism. I do daily readings on Stoic philosophy. And it always helps me just, like I said, think in the right direction.
How does that help you? I love the stoic, the concept of that, it's like don't allow your emotions to control you. Can you talk a little bit more about that and how that's helped you?
Yeah, just understanding that your emotions don't control you, but your emotions are there.
Chris Aurelius.
Yeah. Like your emotions are in place to like protect you. It's like maybe you feel anxious and you think like, why do I feel like this? Oh, it's because in the past when I've done this activity, I hurt myself. My body is like anxious to do that activity again because it's trying to protect itself. So just understanding, I think the biggest thing that a lot of people have issues with is just recognizing their own emotions, saying, I feel this thing. Like some people are just like, okay, I'll speak on myself, is recognizing like hunger. I'm like, why am I angry right now? Like, why am I like just snapping on or why do I want to snap on this person right now? I'm like, when was the last time I ate like a full meal? Oh shit, okay. So first, like recognizing and identifying your emotions, whether it's like hunger, anger, anxiety, that kind of shit. And then it's okay, then understanding that you have a choice. So what are you going to do with that emotion? Are you going to go get something to eat or not? Are you going to snap on this person?
Figure out what's driving it.
Exactly. Yeah. And understanding that there is like a choice to like what to do with it. Just because even if someone comes up to you out of pocket, you still have a choice on like how you can react to it. You can fire back, or you can take that and you can laugh, or you can just choose not to let it affect you. So it's a choice. And some people are ruled by their emotions, are very reactive. It's like, even in life, I see people, my parents said that I have to go to college, so I'm going to college. And then after they graduate, they're like, I got a degree in this field, so I have to work in that field. And then it's, everyone around me, they are getting married and having kids, so that's what I'm supposed to do. So I find someone and I have a baby. And it's now I have to keep working to provide for my family. And it's like, your whole path was decided when you were like, just going into college. Like, you were 21 years old, had no idea who you were, and your whole path is laid out.
Yeah.
And I think for some people that's almost like a relief when you can see the pathway in front of you and they're like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. I find it super stressful, or not stressful, depressing when you can see the full path in front of you.
No surprise, no mystery. There's no
Yeah.
like letting it unfold and seeing what's
It's like, is this it? Like,
Yeah,
this is
right.
it? Yeah. What was the question?
The question, shit, I don't know.
But yeah.
I love the subject that we landed on. It was about stoicism and not letting
Okay.
your emotions take you for a ride.
Mhm.
You were describing how like
Mhm.
the people make these decisions based on how they feel, almost maybe how others are making them feel. This is what needs to happen. This is your next step, and then life is basically laid out.
Yeah.
Versus taking a step back and taking a look at why you feel how you feel, and how it could take people for a ride that they maybe didn't have a ride that they didn't get to choose.
Exactly. And yeah, and the reactiveness. People, oh, I feel this thing, so I'm going to do this. And yeah, just not being so reactive to things. Like if someone says something, don't react. Just don't react. Like you can respond, but don't react. Yeah.
And I'm sure that I think that's a great thing to share, and I appreciate that you're sharing that, because probably for some listeners they can take a step back and see how they feel in whatever situation that they're in their life, and they could take a second to say, hey, I'm doing this because I feel this, versus saying, hey, I want to do this not because of how other people are making me feel. Maybe they can take a little bit more. They could take a look at themselves and realize that they are responsible for how and which way it does go, and they have more control over that as well, if they can just take a step back in that moment.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Do you like, how do you view the future? Do you like see like your life in front of you?
There are things that I want for myself, at least that I think that I want for myself, and that might change moment to moment. I can't necessarily say. But to your point, I would find it a little hard to just know everything that is going to happen. So I try to live hella present. I do try to live hella present, and I don't know what's coming, but I think that's exciting. And I'd rather not be prepared. I'd rather be spontaneously in the moment, being the best version of myself that I can be based off of where I'm at. So, for example, like this past Saturday, I was telling you guys earlier that I had an AA meeting. And this is a very special one because they always have a speaker to tell their story, like where they started, how they got into how they became addicted, how they kicked the habit, and where they're at. And I would have never guessed that I was going to be speaking in that meeting on Saturday. But I loved every second of it. I loved that I didn't have anything planned. He was literally like, hey, the speaker canceled 3 times. He was talking to somebody else and was like, hey, I got to find somebody else to be the speaker. And I turned to him and I'm like, hey, if you want me to speak, I don't have a problem. I got you. And he was like, oh, how long you been sober? So you have to be sober for a certain amount of time. And I was like, 2023, August 6th. And he was like, and he looks at me and he shakes my hand. He's like, I don't got to look any further. And so there was like a moment where a very small fragment of myself wanted to tell myself, like, you're not ready for this. And then but it was so small, so puny, that I was able to, it just vanished in mere moments. And I was just thrilled to not have anything planned, to sit there and just go with the flow. And again, I sat there in front of the group this time, and it tried another one of those little fragments of a thought tried to slip in and say, hey, start thinking about what you're going to say. I was like, nah, put that shit away. I was like, put that shit aside.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I'm sure like being perceived by those people, like in attendance, like perceiving you as the speaker, because I'm speaking at this AA thing, like I am a sober person. I don't know. For other people to view you like that, it solidifies it almost for yourself.
Yeah. Can you elaborate a little bit more? I want to say yes as fuck though, because I get the vibe that what you're saying.
It's almost, people can be whatever they want to be and who they want to be, but if no one is perceiving them in that manner, and are you that thing? And once everybody is, oh yeah, he is this thing,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah. I don't know. You're like, yeah, I am that thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's
almost making it more concrete.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, and it resonates with me tremendously. I do feel like I got the opportunity to make it more of a reality by speaking it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting, based on what you're saying, I'm glad you said that, was actually after the meeting, there was an older gentleman who stopped me, and we had this huge discussion. And at the end of it, he looks at me and he's, I have more respect for you now that I've met you on one-on-one. And to think that was lacking, I would have never thought that was something that was lacking from this person who I've been sharing this space with for the last however meetings I've been to.
Yeah.
It was like he got it now.
It's that's interesting because like even like I've had people like ask me like, oh, are you an artist? And I'm like, no. I straight up said no. And I'm like, afterwards I was like, why did I say no? And so I think when people, even with you here and like talking about like things that I've made, it really helps me deal with like my imposter syndrome.
Fuck yeah.
When other people are like, hey, you did this thing, that was dope. I'm like, oh shit, I am the thing that I say that I am. Even though sometimes that feeling comes up where I'm like, am I just pretending? But then when other people speak it, it's okay, yeah, I am that thing. So yeah, it helps a lot. Even this helps with the imposter syndrome. Do you deal with that?
Yeah, a ton. I've dealt with that a ton growing up.
Yeah, it's a trip.
It is a real fucking trip. And I was just on my hits. I got this like really weird wave of depression last night. I wasn't like completely in the slumps, but I was sitting there because I think
How'd you notice?
Because I said I wanted to do something and I wasn't doing it. I said I wanted to work on putting together another snippet, like maybe whether that be like.
You told yourself this, like, I'm going to do this thing, and then you didn't do the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I went to Peru in December for Christmas and New Year's and for our grandma's 80th, and I took hella little clips, and I was like, all right, I'm going to put these motherfuckers together. It's going to be hella clean. And then I had Marcella's little birthday surprise, and I was like, I'm going to cut this shit up and put it make a dope little clip. And then and I don't know what it was.
What was the hurdle? Your computer wasn't charged or anything? Like there was a.
I think the hurdle was that. And I think part of me is wondering like how it's gonna be received. I'm I'm putting out all these like podcast episodes, and I just feel like when I post it, it's gonna be like amidst what's revolving around a podcast versus just I don't want to.
You were getting ahead of yourself.
I was getting ahead of myself, and I think part of me also didn't want to seem like I was just like putting it in people. Look at this. I also do this. I also did this. I guess I don't want to seem too look at me type shit.
But that's what social media is, right? That's what, like people like if they don't want to see it, they can always change the channel. Yeah. Right? Like they can unfollow. They can look at something. They can watch something else. And yeah, I think that is a problem in our kind of like our society where everybody feels like it's like a first person. What's it called? Main character.
Yeah. And I like people look at me sometimes and I'll show them videos. You're like, you're like the main character everywhere you go.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah, like for me, like what helps me is life is a video game.
Yes.
You create your avatar, you can change your outfit, you have time to build these attributes. Which attributes do you want? Do you want to be super strong? Do you want to be super wise? Do you want to be super funny? All right, cool. Take time to add to those attributes and then go use them in the world. And then get your XP up and like grind on these little things. Like gamifying stuff helps me a lot. Yeah, gamify everything.
I love how you said that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today too, because I was like looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, my back is hella hairy. I was like, my back is hella hairy, bro. I was like, how do I change the skin?
Or some days I will be like hella antisocial and I'm like, all right, your goal is to talk to 2 strangers today. Like it can be anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And so like I go out and then but the thing is, like, when you start gamifying shit, like, you gotta do the thing.
You gotta play the game.
Yeah, because once you start, like, saying, oh, I'm gonna do the thing, and then not doing it, you get your brain gets used to being like, oh, like I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do. It's all good.
It's like the game, right? Like you
Mhm.
don't get that point, or you don't get that whatever it
Exactly.
is that however you're tracking the game that you're playing.
So there one idea or one thought that I had a while ago is riffing off what we were saying earlier about like pathways, like seeing your path before you and seeing the path behind you. I think about like a mountain covered in snow and someone like riding like skis down it, right? And now there's like this pathway. And if you were to ride down that pathway again, it gets a little deeper and more packed in, and you keep taking that. And let's say you were to like ride down it and you were going to try to hop out, like it's going to be hella hard, right? Or like maybe you'll get out for a second and then you'll slip back to that pathway. And so learning ways to reset and to lay down fresh snow so you can like make decisions. Oh, I'm going to go left. I'm going to go right. I'm not stuck in this rut. I'm not, taking time to reset, looking back and like laying down fresh snow and then actually deciding which way you're going to go.
So remember I was saying like I had that sense of that wave, right? I think I needed that reminder and that I can do that I can set those paths on the snow however I want. And so I was looking back on my Baba Sebas account, which has 30,000 so followers. I was looking through messages and in my mind, I have this turmoil of what the F do I do with these 3 accounts that I have? I have Baba Sebas, I have Sebas Iturbe, and I have Sebi Says. And I'm sick and tired of the Baba Sebas one, but that was the one that popped up. And so I was looking through messages. I was like trying to see who I could reconnect with. I messaged some people, but I was looking at some of the messages that I sent. I was looking at some of my pictures that I used to post. And I think I needed that reminder of who I am and what I'm capable of. And I laughed and I looked at and I stepped back and I was like, wait, nah, that's me. I'm that guy.
Yes. Sometimes you just got to remind yourself.
Yeah. I had one of those so I had that moment and
Yeah. And I get that too. I think what helps me is the people I keep around me.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. I think we're social beings. And as much as people say, don't compare yourself to other people, I don't think you should necessarily compare like, oh, this is what I have and this is what they have and like that, but more just, I think like seeing, it's like when you hang out with like your people, you remember all those things. You remember who you are and then they remind you like, oh, remember that one time you did this thing, you're that guy and you did that. You always do. Oh, Combsy, you're always doing something creative. And I'm like, when I had been thinking like, damn, I haven't done anything creative in like weeks, like they say that I always do something creative, like now I want to do something creative. So I think being around the right people helps remind you those things. Yeah.
Mike helps me remind me who I am.
Mike,
yeah. My boy.
Fire. Yeah. And having people around you that understand like what you want to get out of life and them giving you like another perspective. Hey, you've been doing this thing, like I think you should chill. Or hey, you were talking to that person, you were being or hey, you're doing great. Little reminders, people that give you those little reminders, like priceless.
That shit goes a long way.
Yeah. And so I appreciate that, so I try to do that same thing.
Yeah.
Regularly text my homies like, hey bro, have a great day, drink water, take a deep breath. People that I haven't talked to like months, try to connect with them. And I have some friends that like I see once or twice a year and we talk maybe once a month and just have like good ass conversations and remind each other of all that shit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're in the shit in life, you lose that vision. You forget those things that you need. And so, yeah, having people around you to remind you, but also remembering to remind other people.
Yeah.
That's it. Drink water, breathe, stretch, walk around, like sleep. Breathe. The fucking basics.
Yeah.
The fucking basics, man.
I remember we were talking about that before the camera came on.
Yeah.
Was the one thing that we can always rely on.
The one thing you can actually control.
Yeah.
In this world where there's so many options and you can do this, you can swipe left, you can swipe right, you can eat one of 1,000 restaurants in your area, you should be worrying about how much money you make and what job and your career path and your relationships, but you can't really like control that. Like you can control your breath, like right now, like wherever you are right now, you can take a deep breath and focus on your exhale. And you can control your breath, and as long as you are breathing right now, like, everything's good. You don't really need to worry that much. Like, there's things, you have responsibilities as a human, as an adult, that you have to do, but doesn't really, you'll figure it out. It's good. Just don't stop breathing. Don't forget, because I'd be forgetting.
We're talking about those moments where we're just in the shit, right? And you're just like, why do I feel like this? And you're like, oh, dude, for you to put that into, for you to explain it like that, because literally it is the foundation to living, to our life, to calming us down. The one thing we can do, we could push-ups, working out, doing that task you wanted to do. But even through all those things, you have to breathe. There's something there. It's very deep.
Yeah, and it's, you don't have to, like, no prep. There's no prep involved. There's no, sure, you should go to the gym and you want to go to the gym, but are you going to? And what are the obstacles? What are the excuses? But what's your excuse to not breathe?
Has there been any moments where you caught yourself, or you knew that, hey, in this moment, just all I got to do is breathe through it?
Oh, countless. Nothing really that comes to mind.
Is there a moment where where it clicked? Like, where did it click for you? That it was like, yo, I need to breathe through this and I'll get through it.
I noticed when I was DJing at events, and after DJing, I would be like, why am I getting headaches? I'm getting headaches after I'm done DJing. And at first I was like, oh, like, it's the music. Like, I thought I had tinnitus or some shit with my ear, and like, I'm damaging my ears.
Yeah.
And then one day I just realized that I am just like not breathing because I'm focusing on what I'm doing. And so once I realized that, and I put a little sticker on my laptop that just says breathe.
I love that.
Just remind myself.
Yeah.
And ever since then, just as one of my big things is like sitting up straight and taking deep breaths while I'm working. I haven't been getting any headaches, and it was like, got it.
I even noticed you sitting here. I can tell that you're like consciously breathing, which is really.
Yeah, and sometimes it's almost like, sometimes I feel like I breathe loud. And so I'm such like I'm like a people pleaser, and I don't like to disrupt people. Yeah. So I try to like breathe quiet, and I'm just like, don't do that. Just fucking, just breathe loud. So sometimes I'll be kicking it with someone. They're just like, and some people are like, hey, you're breathing hella loud. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
Like hella good, right?
Hell yeah. Like,
you're good at your inside right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the first things I taught my son was just that.
Yeah.
Because like, it even helps today. Like, I play tennis, so I'm like fucking up and I'm maybe not hitting my serve. I literally take a breath in through my nose, ground myself, and hit it way better than I was when I was just doing maybe short breaths or not even recognizing the fact that a breath was needed.
Yeah.
And it's so cute to see like my son practice it, whether he's playing video games.
Yeah, that's got to be a trip.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, there's got to be a trip, like creating a life and then teaching it something and actually retaining that thing. That's got to be a fucking trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
It is. It's crazy to see him practicing it, whether it's like he's playing video games or playing tennis or trying to put a thread through a needle. Like, he'll stop and breathe, and I'm just like, holy shit. If I was going to program you with anything, that's the one thing I wanted to program you with.
Yeah, that's dope. That's sick.
Yeah, it's very
cool. Oh. What do you guys watch?
Like, any shows?
Yeah, you are.
Which one I really liked was Shogun. HB on Hulu. Yeah, exactly. Shogun. So good. If I'm not mistaken, Mike help me out if I need it. But it's like these Portuguese explorers.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. Basically, these Portuguese explorers get shipwrecked, and they're found by a Japanese like warrior army.
Oh, sick.
And they basically keep one of the Portuguese men alive, and he ends up just for damn near. You end up finding out. My bad, spoiler.
That's okay.
that he kept the guy who was leading this Japanese army, kept him around because he just felt like the guy was entertaining, and he made his way, meshed, and made himself part of the tribe. And yeah, it was cool.
So good.
It was really cool. It's like basically about them trying to find the next shogun, and the battle between the heads of the different parts of the Shogun is going to be the lead. Super good show. How about you? What you rocking with recently?
White Lotus?
Dude, people really fucked with that shit.
Yeah, you don't watch it? You've never seen it?
I've seen a few clips and it's pretty fucking funny. And at least
it makes me hella anxious when I watch it. It's hella stressful, but it's
Really?
dope. Yeah,
I love
just
that.
like interpersonal like relationships, like how people act. Yeah, it's dope though. The first season was like
Money.
fire.
Yeah.
Second one was pretty good. This third one, it's like starting to ramp up. It's getting better. It's a slow start. Have you watched 100 Years of Solitude? That one's good. I think that's Netflix. A tribe in, I want to say South America. And one day the dude is just, I'm not fucking with this shit. I'm leaving. Who's coming with me? And he convinces like a group of like 20 or 30 people to like just fucking march out into the jungle and just find new. He's like, we're going to walk until we hit water. And they're like, no way. And they just fucking go. And it's interesting. It shows his wife and they have kids. And then the son eventually dips out because he wants to go conquer shit. You know what I mean? It's interesting.
Is it like
it's like generational? Like it shows like how people's like the decisions that someone made like affects like their kids, and it affects their kids, and like it goes on.
hell yeah?
It's dope.
So is this reality or
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fiction.
And the family, is it like they're in the city first and then they go to
They were in the fucking jungle, bro.
Yeah.
This was like, it's old. I couldn't even tell you a time period. But so it shows like them in the fucking jungle and then marching out and just going through hella shit, and then generations go by, and then like this group shows up and they're spreading Christianity.
Oh shit.
And it shows like how that affects them, like indigenous people affected by Christianity. Once they show up, you already know, you're like, fuck. They're fucking here.
Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's nothing else you can do.
like,
This
it's
is
gonna
the
go to
inevitable.
shit. I already know it. Yeah.
Let me see what else we got.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fuck. I was super geeky. Okay. Remember when I lived in Oakland? I was in Oakland for 2 years living at the lake. And I was literally walking my dog with a neighbor of mine. And we started hear bump, 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 bump. And we're like, oh shit, they're having like a little like rave thing over there. So we walk over and we chop it up with people. They have these outfits on, costumes or whatever, and I turn around and it's like a big ass like pirate ship in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, that person looks familiar. And I was like, Combs. I was like, oh shit.
That was a trip.
That was a trip.
That
right?
was a trip. That was tight. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my crew. We call it Air Pusher.
Okay.
So when I got involved, the ship was already built, but we had been like fixing it up and maintaining it and changing it. I've been with them now for 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
And when you say your crew,
so that's my Burning Man crew.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I got a whiff that you were into Burning Man.
Yeah. So we take that ship out to Burning Man, and boy, I don't even know where to start.
Oh my god.
You want to get into it?
I would love
to.
Burning Man ain't no joke. It's not for the weak, man.
It is not.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of work, and it's a learn. It's a lot. It's a lot of things. But so my introduction into Burning Man was
perfect. Thank you. I'm being a good host right now. Yes.
So my introduction to Burning Man was, I think I had known about it roughly, but my Aunt Deborah, my Aunt Deborah. Deborah was like, hey.
Wait, tell me a little bit more about you and Debs.
So Deborah is my aunt. That's my mom's sister.
Shout out Debs.
It's actually her birds that I'm watching right now. She's cool as hell.
Pierre won't shut up, Deb.
She was an artist growing up. She lived in San Francisco. Me and her always clicked on stuff. Like I felt like she didn't really judge me. Like I could be weird around her.
Love this. I love this so much.
Yeah, so we were cool. And then she was like, hey, I'm hanging out with this group. They're really cool. I think you would like click with them. And so I did, and like they throw parties, so I went to one of their parties. I was like, yeah, these people are cool as hell.
Wait, did you fast forward? What was like life with Debbie as you were younger, other than the fact that she didn't judge you too much? Did you guys hang out? She invited you out to places? What was
we used to go to museums and stuff. Like she's like an outdoorsy person, so like we did a lot of like camping trips and hiking, and
you said she was into art.
Yeah.
What kind of art what's her shit?
She did like screen printing. She made like this print over here. I don't know. She's always had a good eye, in my opinion. Like, anytime I would go to her house, I would look at all the things. And,
You think she influenced you quite a bit?
oh, absolutely. All my family members, I feel like did in some way, but I feel like I would see her and understand that like it's not a big deal. Like
I was just thinking,
it's like it's whatever. Like just do what you want to do.
yeah.
Shit, that's always
Don't
what
gotta
I
take
thought.
life too seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got that. This is the cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did she introduce you to a crew?
Yeah. So she introduced me to the
How
crew.
old are you at this time?
This was maybe,
You've been rocking her for 4 years.
yeah, I was maybe 25, 26. No, later than that.
30s. Late
Like
20s.
30, like
Yeah.
29, 30,
Yeah.
yeah. And then so I hung out with them, they were cool. And while this was all going on, she had already been to Burning Man a bunch of times. And then eventually she was like, I think you should go to Burning Man. Like she just said, she was like, I think you should go.
Yeah.
And
Had
I
it
was,
been an idea in your mind at all
no,
prior to that?
not at all. Not at all. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'm going.
Love it.
She's like, I think you
You're
should
also
go.
very cool, man, in the sense that I know your mom instilled this kind of go with the flow, whatever, with the next thing that excites you the most, go for it. And yeah, man, you just jump in. That's very cool of you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm down to try things out, and if I fail, then I fail. Like, try shit out. And yeah, so we went to Burning Man, and it was insane. It was just, it's a different world. Do you know anything about it?
From my understanding, is it's a rave party slash concert in the middle of a desert, and people sleep in tent. I don't know if there's a charging station at that one for phones and shit. That might have been a different one, but that's the gist of what I know about Burning. And then people build stages, moving pieces of art.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's about right. It's in the desert in near Reno. It's actually a dried up lake bed. So it's called the Playa.
No way.
And so you drive out there. Burning Man organization does not really provide anything, but they put out porta potties, and that's it. That's the only thing they provide. So in terms of prep, you need to bring all your own food, water, shelter, whatever you need for the next week. It's a week long. And so I wouldn't necessarily describe it as a rave, but I would almost describe it as more of an open air art exhibit. And so I think there's on average like around 50,000 people that go out there.
Wow.
And over the course of a week, they build an entire city out in the desert. And everybody's story is completely different. Everybody's experience is completely different. You go out there and you decide what you want to do. So, you know, if you want to go out and get fucked up and rage and dance and party, you can do that. If you want to go out and meditate and do yoga and go to discussions and learn things and wake up first thing in the morning and go to bed early, you can do that too.
What?
There's something for everyone. So the map of Burning Man is like a giant circle. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it. Big circle. And the reason it's a circle is because it's shaped like a clock. Okay. So there's shaped like intentionally shaped like a clock. And on the outskirts, the bottom, you have like the neighborhoods. This is where everyone's camping, right? They give you designated places. And so this is where everyone's camping. Now, throughout the day, you can wander through the streets. You walk along the streets. And the whole thing is, it's about decommodification. And they don't sell anything. And some people say, oh, it's a trading, bartering system, right? It's not. It's a gifting society. Everything is a gift. And you need to provide a gift for people. So like when you go out, there will be a camp over here. They're like, hey, every morning we're giving out free pancakes. Come get some. So you go over there, get some free pancakes. Over here, they're giving out free coffee. Okay, get coffee. This place over here, they're doing every day at 11:30, they do a meditation retreat. Okay, let me check that out. So there's thrift stores where there's clothes, everything's free. You pick out whatever you want, everything's free. And it's all about what are you going to gift? And so you can wander through the streets, and then in the center of the map is the playa. It's open, and that's where a lot of the larger art installations are. So there's like huge pieces that people brought out there and they built them, and there's huge structures that you can climb on. There's like light things. There's all kinds of weird shit. And the reason it's shaped like a clock is so that you know where you are. So let's say so all the streets are down here, right? And people will be like, "Oh, where's your camp at?" You're like, "Oh, I'm at 630 and B." And so at the center of the map is the man, the giant man. You can see it from everywhere. It's a giant man. And at 12 o'clock, there's another big structure. It's called the temple. That's like where people pray and stuff. And so at any point, you can be like, okay, where am I? Okay, the man is there. The temple is there. So 630 is this way. So we need to go to 630. When you get to the end, once you get to the streets, it's like A, B, C, D, E, F. So you're like, okay, 630 and B, section 2nd Street. So anywhere you are, you know which direction you need to go. That's why it's shaped like a clock. And so you can go out, we go out on bikes and we wander throughout the day and get food and look at art and climb onto stuff. And then at night, it fucking comes alive and everything lights up and there's just parties going and people build like these huge structures that are essentially look like full-on stages with lights and speakers, and they drive them out into the middle of nowhere and people find them and they party with them. So there's no, oh, there's main stage and there's this stage. Everything is completely random. And so we bring that ship out. It's called Air Pusher. It looks like a giant pirate ship with a big hot air balloon on top.
So tight.
And to drive that thing around and people just look at it with just like amazement. And you're riding on top and we throw parties and we DJ and people can come on and ride it and give people rides. And it's a crazy feeling. It's sick.
Does that what Air Pusher provides? Is that
our art?
That's
our art.
Because you're saying like every kind of group or people comes to offer something.
Exactly. Yeah. So we do art. We set up a bar and stuff. We do alcohol is like you can find free alcohol anywhere on Playa, but yeah, our thing is art and music.
That's amazing.
Yeah, going out there really just taught me having radical self-reliance. Just being reliant, like you don't need anything from anyone. Just being prepared. Not getting too caught up in like the game and money and wearing, like wearing brand name things and having expensive stuff. And like out there, like that doesn't matter at all. Actually, people will look down on you if you're wearing like a fucking Gucci, fucking whatever. Like people will be like,
the side eye.
Yeah. Out there, there's no service, so just not having, you can't make calls, you can't text people.
Can't check your feed.
Can't post, so I just leave my phone in the car for a week, don't even need it. And it makes everything like fucking magic. Like you bump into someone out there, you're just like, holy shit. Or I've met people out there before and like you're like, okay, where do you live? Let me write that down in my notebook. And then next day you go to their camp and you're like, oh, it's here. And they're like, no, they just left for this thing. And you're like, okay, can I leave them a note?
No, what?
Hey, stop by at this time. This is where I'm going. See you later. Stick it on their fucking tent. And then if you guys link up, then you link up. If you don't, but it makes everything just like feel like it's on purpose. It's weird. You have to be very purposeful with shit. If you're gonna want to hang out with this person, okay, you gotta ride hella far.
Yeah.
And if they're not there, you can't get bummed out. Being intentional with shit. Yeah.
Wow. And flow, because it teaches you to be patient.
The plan is always changing.
Hey, exactly. Hey, I was gonna be there.
And then
Hey,
I was on my way, but then I saw like this giant whale like drive by, so I had to check it out. Yeah. And then I heard this music coming from over there, so I had to go do that. Yeah. So it's like, I was like, yeah, it's fine.
All right. Funny, we were just talking about how I used to get butthurt about people being late, and now it's just, hey, life.
Yeah. And there were just a couple moments out there for me where I just experienced like magic, like for real. And I realized that it was because somebody like created it in order for me to feel that thing. Like, for instance, there was a night where I was just wandering around with a buddy of mine. And we were walking and it was cold and we noticed these people like with a campfire. So we were like, all right, we just wandered over and we were just like warming up. And 2 seconds later, this guy hands us sticks with the biggest marshmallows on them. They were like this big. They were fucking huge. And we're like, oh shit, okay. So we're like roasting marshmallows. And then he had all the s'more shit. And like as soon as we ate it, he like, boom, didn't have to ask, put another one on. He was like, keep eating. And we're just like, fuck, okay. Sitting there roasting marshmallows, like shooting the shit. And then I look over and this guy had walked over. Santa Claus was standing next to me, like full on. That was Santa Claus. Like he like not a costume. Like he was he was Santa
Saint
Claus.
Nick.
And he was like, and I wasn't even shocked. I was like, hey, what's up, Santa? And he was just like, Merry Christmas, boys. And we're just like all sitting there eating marshmallows. And he hands me something, and it's like a fucking sick ass, like a gold coin, like a dope gold coin I've never seen before. I still have it. And I was like, damn, like this is. And then so we were like, I was like, all right, later, Santa. Like we're gonna dip out. And he's like, all right, have a good Merry Christmas, boys. Have a good. And we leave, and we were like, we see something in the distance, like a crowd form. We walk in, and these people are serving, and keep in mind, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And these people are making Thai food, pad Thai noodles, in the middle of nowhere.
What the fuck?
Pad Thai noodles, and they're just like, handing out, and we're just like, and we're just sitting there eating. So after we left Santa Claus, we're riding around, and Thai food. And then we're just killing time. Didn't want to go back to camp, just wandering around, checking out some art and shit. And then
like 4 a.m.
Yeah, now at this point, sun is about to come up. Like it's already getting, like you can see it coming. And so sun's coming up. We're riding by this camp, and they have a sign that says R&B and ribs. So we wander in, and there's a DJ just playing like 90s slow jams, and they're handing out these ribs that are like fucking, they look like fucking like
forearms.
They're huge, bro, and they just fucking hand it to us. No forks, no napkins, no plates, no nothing. They're just handing them to people. So we're fucking grooving, watching the sunrise, eating ribs, listening to R&B, and just crazy.
If heaven were a place on earth.
And then eventually leave that place, wind up at our last destination where we watch. Diplo was supposed to be doing our set, so we watched Diplo, but he DJ'd from a hot air balloon like 200 feet in the air. So we're like dancing, and it's at this point it's like 9-10 a.m.
No.
We're fucking full. We're chill. We had been up all night, and that's just one night. Like I've been 4 times now, 3 or 4 times, and that was just one night. And every day is like that, like where it's just random, and
it sounds like a fever dream.
Yeah, and even like looking back, I'm like, did that happen? And then I see a picture, I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that. And so like, the point that I'm trying to is I think back and like how much work other people had to do so that I can feel that magic. And so it really makes me now want other people to feel that. So I do a lot of things to try to get people to feel that.
No matter. Paying it forward almost.
Yeah. And it's weird little things. And I just want other people to feel that thing and do that. I don't know. I just want people to feel that feeling. Yeah. So I just get ideas.
Milk that for me, bro. So it's fuck, you feel these magic. Somebody had to have the conscious thought, we're going to have a fireplace. I'm going to shove a marshmallow on this stick every time they run out. I'm going to have Thai food here to bless them. Random walker by.
They're like, yeah, these people are going to be so tired at this time and so hungry. Like, how dope would that be? Like, if we just handed them a bowl of noodles. And also, they're so nonchalant. That's big. They're not like, I don't know. They're not everybody's on their phones recording. Like, oh, look, we're doing this nice thing.
All right.
They're not getting content. And that dude dressed like Santa Claus, like he knew what he was doing. You know what I mean?
God, it's amazing.
But like in that moment, I'm like, this is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like some dude fucking with me, like this dude fucking Santa. And like he knows what he was doing. Yeah. Like he was being super nonchalant. He knew he was like creeping up on us. Yeah. But it made
a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll never forget like those things. And so I try to do those little things. Like to
keep the magic moving forward.
Yeah, I have parties here and I try to just do weird little shit. Like sometimes I'll write little like notes and then I'll just walk by people, like slide them to people.
What's something you would write on it?
I'll write a bunch of notes, like I'll fuck with my homie and I'll make notes that say, go pinch Brian. And I was getting why? I don't know if you noticed, like there's like a cabinet back. Did you see it? You should check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. But
you should have put a note. Check out this cabinet.
It says look inside.
Oh, it does.
Well, when you read something that says look inside, people assume that it's about look inside yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have these little toys that I give people often. I'll get them later. But yeah, like I buy little things that I like with the purpose of giving them to people.
I love that.
I take them to gigs, and sometimes I just meet people that I'm like, I connect with and I'm cool, and I'm just like, oh, here you go. And they're just like, oh. And I'm like, it's like the cheapest little thing, and they love it. And yeah, I just look for those opportunities.
But like, so I like the little notes things. Like when you have a little get, is there anything else that you like try to make little like a mystical kind of magical experience for people that Burning Man has taught you that you carry on outside?
Definitely like the setting. Like I set up like lights and shit, and I got like speakers all over this fucker. Like my Halloween party was pretty good. I had my decorations were pretty good. I got like this giant spider, and I like hid it in the rafters, like creeping down.
No way.
Looked sick. Go fucking webs everywhere. I don't know. I like just like setting that vibe and that mood. Oh, one thing that we did, one of my favorite memories here is I had a party. A lot of people, most people left, and it was just like my close homies still chilling, pretty late. And then I got the idea to play sardines. You know what sardines? Sardines is dope. Yeah. So it's sardines is like it's hide and go seek, but there's a couple differences. So first thing we do is I turn off all the lights, like everything, like anything with a little bit of light, I unplug it, like close everything, like it is pitch black, super dark.
Okay.
And then I have everyone go in one room. There's not a lot of rooms here, so we all went into the bathroom, like 7 of us, like all in the bathroom. And then you have one person, and once you leave the room, nobody can talk to each other, no one can go on their phone, no flashlights, no communication. You have one person leave the room, and they go hide somewhere, anywhere in the house. They hide quietly, and then one by one, you exit the room, and you're looking for this person, right? Quietly, you can't help each other, you can't talk. Once you find the person hiding, you do not say anything, you quietly hide with them. So as the game goes on, like people are disappearing, and you're like, where is everyone? Until it's one person left, and they're like, what the fuck, where is everyone? And then they stumble across like all these people hiding like behind the couch or like under a table, and everyone is just like trying not to laugh. Everyone's giggling, and it's like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh
like
my
it was a
God,
long night,
that's
and we were all just it's fun, man. So like and that's something I've done with my Burning Man crew. Like once a year we do a retreat where we get a huge Airbnb and we do shit like that, play games, and yeah, that's one of my favorites, sardines. And another, so it's hella dark, and then I have Bluetooth speakers and shit. I'd play like fucking bird noise, jungle noises and shit, and it's like weird,
really
like
getting you down into the vibe.
and that's what I like, is just like immersing people into that shit. And my big thing is like playing with senses. Like I really like lights and sound, and so like we are always around really bright lights and screens and shit. So like to play in a space that is completely dark, it trips you out. Like it does weird shit.
And your other senses.
Yeah, and like these people like walking around,
my
like
God.
just shapes, but you're like, these are my friends, but also who is
It
that?
kind of fucks with you a little bit.
Yeah. Like I like that kind of. It's weird.
I'm gonna introduce this game to my son. I was supposed to come over and play sardines.
Yeah, you need a crew of people, and you just need people they have to understand the rules. Because you try to play with people that don't understand, and it's people keep talking, turn on their phones, and I'm just like, it's not fun.
I'm sure there were like nervous people who were like, oh, fuck,
That's true too. We've had a couple moments where we had to turn the lights on.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Calm people down a little
shit.
bit. We've had some anxiety attacks, yeah. But it's good. Yeah, just playing, learning to be a kid again. And teaching other people how to be a kid again, how to play again.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what it sounds like. You want to keep that magic of enjoying life, the little thing.
Yeah. People get so serious sometimes, and it's like, you're grinding away at World of Warcraft. So chill out. Just fucking chill. Yeah, I just do some weird shit. Which is sometimes people, I'm so conscious about it, because sometimes people are judgmental, and that's okay.
Yeah. That's okay too. Yeah.
I'll meet people, and I'm like, I, for some reason, just don't like you.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. You didn't offend me. Like, I just don't like.
Yeah.
I just don't like being around you. Yeah. And that's okay. And so if other people feel that about me, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We still coexist.
Yeah. We don't click. You think I talk down to people or do this thing? Like, say less. It's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, just not taking shit so serious.
Sounds like I need to experience Burning Man at least once.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime I talk to someone about it, it's just go once. yeah, it could have shifted the way like I see things and created good memories. And like the people that I've been with, like they're gonna be friends like forever.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
So cool, bro. You opened up a whole new world for me, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be people out there who have no idea either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people hear the words and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just like a bunch of hippies in the desert." But it's definitely more than that. It's just seeing it's just inspiring to see how other people do it and how much effort people put in to create moments for other people. I think we all need to just be a little bit like more selfless. Like just do more shit for other people and it'll make your life a lot better. Yeah.
For somebody who hasn't been to Burning Man before, what would you suggest? What's some tips? Like, hey, I want to go for the first time. How do you prep them?
Get involved with your community. Wherever you are, there's probably a group within driving distance that has been and goes. And so I would just say, hang out with them. Hang out with them, like just be part of that community and it'll just be part of your work. And if you go with people that have been before, like they know all the shit, you can look up whatever the list and it's okay, these are all the things you need, all the stuff you need, but it's pretty obvious of the stuff you need. And then other than that, just go in with zero expectations. Just be ready. Just be ready to go. It's exhausting, man.
After that week.
Yeah, like after the week and then even coming back to civilization was like walking into a building for the first time.
Right.
Like using a shower, you flushing a toilet. It's always a weird experience, which I feel like it's humbling. And it makes you like super grateful. Like a hot shower, dude, what the fuck? We're hella lucky. And also forgetting about money for a bit is weird. Like I remember I came back and I went through a drive-through and I was like ready for my food and they're just like $20 and I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like,
oh yeah,
money.
I need to exchange.
Yeah,
for
I
this
forgot
just,
about money,
yeah.
dude. It was weird. And then we usually like when we come back, we go to Reno. It's like walking into a hotel. It's like
I'm in a box.
Crazy.
Closed off.
Yeah. And then we go to like a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, being out there, I think really teaches you like how to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Cause like you could go there and just be up. Like you could be up for days if that's cause there's so much shit to do. So really connecting with yourself and saying, okay, I need to sleep now. I need to eat now. Nobody else is going to tell me to do these things. So I think that's me.
The construct of your day is telling you to do those things.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just learning how to like listen to your body. And what do I need right now? Do I want to go dance or should I relax for a minute? Take it easy.
You think we could do that? Do you think like the concept of giving and every group having its like part of the community give? Do you think we could bring that into the real world?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying, that's what I try to do. Yeah. And like, I love gifting to people. Even like with my art, like I hate selling my art. I hate the feeling of selling it. It just feels dirty to me.
Really?
Yeah. And so
no, sell your pieces.
I've sold like a handful of things, but I just don't. That's not really something that I want to do.
This is amazing.
I would much rather make a piece and give it to one of my close friends. Like,
yeah.
That I love that. Yeah. And to see them like wear something that I gave them, oh shit. But like to receive money for it seems weird to me.
No way.
Yeah. Like I get the idea, like cool, you can go buy groceries now and shit from your art, but I don't know. It just doesn't make it as valuable to me.
I'm mind blown right now.
I don't know why.
My whole like thing is like being able to like do your hobby and make a living out of it.
I think that's a fallacy.
I love that. I'd love to hear more about it. I think it's so cool that it's a genuine fucking hobby for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even like DJing, like at first started out as a passion and a hobby, and then don't get me wrong, like I love it and I still enjoy it, but it is definitely like I think about DJing and it is work. Like that is worked, which is dope. It's a dope job and I enjoy it, but it's different when I'm like making other art that I'm not intentionally like trying to make money off of. I can't put it into words.
It feels really good to hear you say that. It's really. I'm like in like this interesting sense of shock.
Yeah.
Because so like your way of making money is the audio visual.
Yeah, audio visual rentals and then DJing weddings.
Right.
Yeah.
But your shit like sewing, creating clothes,
photography.
That's like pure passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I love that. I love the fuck out of that.
And yeah, and making art, it's like I don't make art for other people. I make it for me. Like I make it because it's not even that I want to. It's almost like an urge to. Like if I don't make something right now, I'm gonna go crazy. Intentionally making art. I make art that I intentionally don't share with anyone. I don't post it. I don't show anyone. I'm not gonna sell it to anyone. I'm not like I feel like it makes it way more impactful for myself, at least. Yeah. It's rewarding as hell, and it helps you connect with yourself, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
So make more art that is only for you. Yeah.
That's incredible. I love how it goes against the grain of what it is that I was trying to do. Because really, that podcast is about people like doing what they love to do and make a living out of it. But I love the counter argument of, I think that's a fallacy. You know what I'm saying? And you're happy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I think the idea that like paying your bills with your craft or your passion is a trick, I think. And there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. If you can have a 9 to 5 and pay your bills, and then after you get off work, go make art or do your passion or do whatever your thing is, make music, make movies, that's great. That's sick. And it makes it way less pressure. It's like there's not this pressure to create this thing, and now I have to put it on my website and post it and communicate with these people, because if I don't do these things, then I won't be able to pay my bills. I think it takes all the fun out of it. I can make something and fucking throw it on a shelf. I can start a project and quit halfway through and never finish it. I can pick up a hobby and then put it down for months at a time, and it's not like that feeling of, oh, I have to, that guilt, the guilt of, oh, like I was supposed to post something today.
I hate that. I hate that. Ugh, it's gross.
Yeah, but it's like what society we're living in right now is like that
Oh,
shit, and so it's work a 9 to 5 and to do the fun shit afterwards. It's okay. Like,
love you for saying that shit, dude. Thank you. And I know there are people out there listening and they're saying, fuck, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's just, yeah, that's how I feel. No biggie.
That's tight, dude. I love that. That was like a fucking curveball, baby. Come on.
It's a nugget.
I love that. And that's a huge fucking nugget, golden nugget.
We talked about school, work. What else was on that thing you sent me? On that notes thing.
I think people really, I love that you said that, dude. I can't get over it.
Which one? Which part?
The fucking, it's okay to have a 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. But that was so healing to hear.
Yeah, good. No, and sometimes there's things that like, but you just need to be reminded. Yeah, having a job and security, oh shit, that's a blessing. But like at the same time, if you can make money and a living off of your art, that's dope too. It's just like everybody's different. Just figure out what your shit is. What's your curriculum? What are your rules? What are your metrics? What are your metrics on measuring your life? Do you have any?
Fuck, that's amazing. No, but I've recently, that concept has recently slivered into my mind with your own metrics. Because at the end of the day, you feel bad when you're not living up to something that you think is important or vital for yourself.
Yeah, I think people fall into this trap of measuring their success by other people's metrics. Majority of people, if you make a lot of money, then you're good. You should be happy and you're successful. But if money doesn't truly make you happy, like why would you use that as a metric? Like for me, to go back to like gamifying and like counting, keeping score, it's not how much money can you make, but like how, like money is the tool, right? Money is the tool to do things and acquire things that you like. But it really, for me, it's like all right, you have now until you die, how many good memories can you make? That's the challenge. Like how many dope ass adventures can you go on, and like how much shit can you get into? People can you connect with and meet, and like How many good conversations will you have in your life? Those are the metrics I fuck with. Yeah, the money shit is cool because it's like security. You could like use that to go on a trip or yeah, that's all dope. But that's not the metric. Yeah, how many lives can you touch? How many people can you connect with? How many moments in your life where you're like, damn, this is tight. This right here, whatever we're doing, this is cool.
I love having
Like how
those
many
moments.
times like in your life will you get that opportunity? That's a good metric. Yeah. So figuring out what your metrics are is big and not just like following somebody else's curriculum. You can use that. Use somebody like, oh shit, this person is like hella good at this person is hella good at like talking to people. Or this person is good at Instagram. Like they're good at like how do they use it? Using that like getting ideas from other people's like shit and then implementing it in yourself. But don't just take someone else's whole life and be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do too. Like figure your shit out, what's important to you, how you're gonna obtain that thing, and then how can you show other people how to do it, uplift other people, ease other people's suffering.
Make it a little easier for the next person.
Yeah, because life is hard, dude. Like, it's crazy. Ever since we were born, it's like, wow, so much work. I'm like, damn, I gotta remember to like eat, drink water, sleep, breathe, like all these things every day until I die. Oh, goddamn.
It's
like,
exhausting,
yeah, it's a
right?
lot of
It's
fucking work. Like, I'm
exhausting.
constantly doing laundry and dishes. Fuck, I have to keep doing this? God damn. So every once in a while, I'm just like, try to remind people, like, hey, it's fine, dude. Don't trip. Yeah, just yeah, like I said, ease other people's suffering a little bit. And it'll come back around eventually.
My dad's at this point in his life where he's 58, going on, he keeps on reminding himself that as if those 2 years in between don't exist. He's like, I'm 58, going on 60. I don't have nothing to say for it.
Because, what do you mean? He says that he doesn't have anything to show for it?
That's his feeling, yeah.
Because his metric is physical wealth?
So his metric is, I think, so he has some turmoil going on in his family and the household. And he feels like the kids are getting older. The kids are going to be moving out.
Because his metric was family.
His metric was family.
And now the family is not what it was.
Or at least what he wanted it to be for forever. Like, things change.
Yeah.
People grow. They get to live their own lives. And sometimes things aren't forever. Sometimes relationships aren't forever.
Yeah.
I think like his metric was the household and his partner.
Yeah.
And I think he has to come to terms with the fact that some of those things may need to change.
Yeah.
And I would just love for him to start changing his metrics or looking at his metrics in terms of like and I say that what reminded me of it was the fact that you said, fuck, since we're born, you know what I'm saying? Like, even breathing, it is the one thing that we have, but it alone is a wear and tear on your body. Like, it's a mechanic for your biological system to keep going. We only have so much breath to breathe, along with eating, sleeping, resting, working, making sure they get to their work.
Right, like all things that we have to do. Yeah.
And it's like he's tired. He's tired. All right.
So what is your advice for him? Because I know what I would say.
But
I want to hear it.
Sure. I remind him that everything is going to be okay. I know he thinks that it's 60 and that it's all fucking over, but I think he got a buttload of years left to live, and there's so much opportunity, and that's what I want to remind, that there's so much you still can do. You can, yes, it sucks how your book came to be. Sometimes you didn't have control of the chapters in it. And you mentioned how it's crazy how some family members will cause a certain trajectory in your life and it unfolds in a certain way. And I think he had to deal with that. So it was taken out of his hands to be able to control, and some of the situations that he has been in and been through has created a path for him that he may have wanted to take.
Yeah.
So the reminder from me to him was that you can always change how the book ends. You can finish the ending.
That's real. It's true. think a lot of people, and myself included, deal with decision paralysis. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Where it's like when someone tells you like you can do anything, it's fuck.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
Ain't
okay.
it?
I guess I'll just sit here and think about it and not do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if anyone I talk to is ever like dealing with decision paralysis, like I do, the first advice I would say is just do something. Like for myself, at the beginning of the day, I have a whole to-do list of 10 things I want to do, maybe. And then I sit down and I'm like, I have all these things. It just, which one should I do first? I'm just sitting there wasting time. Just start. Just do the easiest one first. And once you start, then, you know, like you get into that flow state and then the next thing and you do the other thing and it gets the ball rolling. So just start, just do one thing. And other piece of advice I would say is just be grateful. Yeah. I think a lot of people need to or should just be grateful more. Like where you're at, where you live, the meal you had today, the person that said hi earlier. Just be more grateful and it gets a lot easier.
Just you saying, hey, fuck, having a 9 to 5, be grateful.
Yeah, like people want to complain about going to work, but really it should be flipped and you should be grateful that you have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just everything can be reframed to just like to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So this shit oh fuck, like I got into a car accident and my shit got fucked up, but now I get to get a new car.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm okay.
Yeah.
Or it's a learning opportunity, or it was a chance to gain a new experience, collect a new experience. I've always said, okay, over the course of a lifetime, try to feel all the feels. Try to feel all the things, whether it's a high or a low, or just try to get in the nooks and crannies and feel all those little subtleties. Okay, like first time doing jury duty, like I'd never done it before, so I experienced that, never want to do it again. Oh, first time sharing art in a public forum, like that was dope. That felt good. I want to keep doing that. I just keep racking them up. All those feels, all those experiences, just whether they're good or bad or whatever, just keep getting them. Yeah. Because it's better than just being stagnant and being still and like not doing anything. I'm sure you have those days I do where you just veg all day.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Then the whole day goes by and afterwards you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I was a piece of shit today. I didn't do any of the things I said I was gonna do. I have nothing to show for the day. I didn't. Yeah. Now I don't. I didn't go grocery shopping, so I can't eat. Yeah. It's just do things. Just do more things. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to go back on it, but I'm excited for my dad. I'm excited for him that his reality is fucking crumbling. I know I think he wants me to sulk with him, but I'm just like, I'm juiced for you, bro.
Yeah. And he may find it, he might not.
Yeah.
And being okay with whatever turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you listening, bro.
Hell yeah. No. I always like I said, my favorite word is perspective, man. And I'm always trying to gain more. Like seeing the world from this person's point of view, seeing it from this other person. Like how does my partner view me? How do my coworkers view me? How do I view them? I'm trying to see things from every angle because it only helps. It only helps. The more ways, if you're in a certain situation, the more perspectives you can see it from, it's only going to help. Like when I'm DJing, I'm like, okay, I know what these young kids want to hear. I know, okay, what does grandma want to hear? What does that guy sitting all the way at the back want to hear? What does the bride and groom want to hear? And through all that, I'm like, this one. So I'm always trying to gain those perspectives. And I'm always down to, if someone is down to talk about like their experience and how they like see shit in the world and this reality, I'll listen.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll disagree and sometimes I'll agree. And yeah.
One of my favorite episodes so far. Dude, no, I feel like we've talked so much. I think we could put a ribbon on it.
Fire. Yeah, we did some good shit. Yeah, that was good. We riffed. We got in the flow state.
We did. Yeah, we did. It was at that little break.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Start spinning about Burning Man.
Yep.
And gems all over the place.
Fire, man. Yeah, appreciate you.
I appreciate you, bro. Honestly, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sebi says episode mother. Oh, look at that. And then my family from Canada on my dad's side texted me.
Fire.
It's all meant to be. It's all meant to be.
Hit up your mom or your dad. They miss your voice. Drink water. Breathe.
Fruit Fly Juice Co.
Oh, hell yeah. Pull up.
Fuck, what a good episode, bro. And meant to happen because I feel like everything that there's like certain shit that you stated up in that bitch. And I was like, fuck, this just happened to me, or I just had this realization.
Those synchronicities.
Right. And then the fact that you said it's okay to have a 9 to 5 is key.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that it has to be that way.
There's no have to.
There's no have to.
There's no have to. You don't have to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, no, and I appreciate you coming through, and it's honestly like it feels like therapy to me, like just because these are all things that like I think about on a regular basis. So just like saying them out loud and having you hear them, and especially like agreeing with some shit, it just like getting a grip on this reality and figuring out what the fuck is going on around us, because we are just like little specks on this giant rock floating through space. It's fucking crazy. Like the fact, that we're here and we're living. It's dope. It's a miracle. So just enjoy it and be grateful.
I gotta ask you, it's something that came to mind. And how do you feel about death? I used to have.
You saw it? I had it written down.
I thought you knew it.
Just says death. Yeah, it just says death. Yeah. I think about it. Do you know what's crazy? Is I tell people like I think about death often, and they're just like so horrified.
They're like, "Oh my god!"
I think it's depressing.
How brutally horrifying that you'd be thinking about this thing that we are gonna have to experience.
And that people are constantly avoiding, and it's like the thing we all have in common, the thing that we are all slowly marching towards.
Literally connect us all.
Yeah, and I think at least our society, I think our relationship with death is fucked up. And like when our family member dies, we like call the number, and someone comes, puts them in a bag, and carries them off, and you don't see them again. And maybe you do awake and you see them for a few minutes, and then you put them in the ground. But there's other cultures where like when someone dies, like they leave them like in the living room for a week, and they just go about their day. It's like their way to process it. I think I personally think about death, not that I'm like looking forward to it. Like obviously I'm enjoying life, but it's imminent. And I think if you are able to like me, I have this vision of I just like it's coming. How do I what space do I want to be in when it comes? I want to have loved ones around me. I want to be comfortable. I want to be in warm weather, preferably tropical, maybe on a beach. Like I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like this horrible process. And I think like life is just like preparing for death, like learning how to die and how to, like I said, ease the suffering until then, and helping the people around us deal with it. Yeah. So it's coming.
I used to have anxiety. Like when I was younger, I would fear it because I feel like I remember what it was like to be inside my mom's womb.
Wow. Okay.
And just the sensation of floating around in absolute darkness, and that I was just floating and didn't really have any sensation other than the fact that it was just like I knew I existed, but I didn't really have any senses to put anything else to it.
Yeah.
And I remember just having thoughts of re-experiencing that. And when I was younger, I would have tiny panic attacks. But I wanted to bring it up because I think that a lot of what you share, whether you mentioned death or not while you were explaining it, but it was just like, we have this much time. We don't know that time from now until that point where we no longer have the ability to sense anything around us to make it the best that we can. Have you heard of the term memento mori? I think it is.
I've heard it, but remind me.
Or it's like basically like the fact that death actually should motivate you to seize the day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. Fuck, I gotta. I was listening to a stand-up, and this dude's that would suck to die before you finish your to-do list. He's like, I still have these paintings I haven't hung up, and they've just been sitting on the ground for years. So it's like, I think it's a good motivator. Like all the shit you got to do before it comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, go out and get it.
Yeah, I love that. Love that, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It came to mind, and I was just like, oh, and you're mentioning the Sunset.
Oh, Sunset Limited.
Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a movie. It's Samuel Jackson, Tommy Lee Jones, and it's Tommy Lee Jones. He's a smart guy. I think he's a professor, and I figured out this life and this reality. It's total bullshit. I'm gonna go kill myself. And Samuel Jackson is just telling him to not. You don't want to do that, and let's just talk about God for a little bit longer. And to me, it sounded like the point was like religion just keeps our mind busy. I think staying busy is a big thing. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting take on life and death and kind of ways to view it. And just, yeah, finding tools that work for you, yeah, to deal with shit. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Of
Appreciate
course.
you.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
man.
again, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Love you to death.
Of course.
Sebi says.